Crossing over from slavery to freedom has one major word in it that makes a difference, I think, in people's lives. And I had a problem with this word growing up, and the word is called obedience. You know, obedience. I didn't like having to do it somebody else's way. I wanted to do it my way. And my parents would tell me things, I'd take it great, you know, I'd listen, yeah, sure, listen a little bit, but I would not necessarily say I'm going to embrace all of that, because part of me said, I'm going to figure it out my way. Like the Frank Sinatra song, you know, I did it my way. But my way took a lot of these people down the wrong way, right? And then I started figuring out something as I moved on in my years. And actually, I'll be honest with you, just the last few years, I've been sitting down here, and actually I'll be very honest with you, the last few months of studying this passage and hearing about this, I finally got a new aha. And the aha was this. There's things that are in life that are kind of paradoxical when you hear them. You know, they're contrary to one another. Then how can you talk about obedience in the same context as freedom? But the reality is, you can't have freedom, true freedom, unless you have obedience. Think of our country. When you started in this country, we had the liberty. The Statue of Liberty talks about the liberty. It represents our liberty here in this country. And if you look at it, you realize, and know our forefathers, that we could not have liberty as a people unless we had responsibility. Wouldn't you agree? You can't have liberty without responsibility. You can't have freedom without governing laws to abide by and have the people actually abide by those laws. So to me, I started going, wow, freedom, responsibility. It's kind of odd. Obedience, freedom. Same thing. That God's saying you can be free, totally free, when you obey. And I started thinking, His obedience, now why wouldn't you want to obey? Why wouldn't you want to go into the land of milk and honey in your life? Why wouldn't you want to go to your own promised land that God has for you, a vision of you in the future of who you can be? And all you got to do is obey. You got to listen, right? You got to listen for what you're supposed to do. You got to ears to hear, as they say in the Scripture. You got to be committed, have an intention to go there. And then you got to take action. You got to obey.